and welcome to my blog. I'm going to be doing these videos all the time, so keep an eye on the channel. Make sure you click to subscribe. They're going to be me ranting really about everything, and I thought I'd do my first one on Neighbours, not the TV show. I have lived here for 7 years, coming up for 8, and we've had 4 neighbours in that space of time since living here. So we've had 2 this side and 2 the other side. And when we lived in our previous addresses, we also had we lived there for 5 years as well, and we had different neighbours every couple of years there as well. Now, the old girl that lived behind us, she passed away, and there's another elderly lady in there. Perfect neighbours, right? Perfect. Couldn't ask for better. We help her out, she helps us out, you know, vice versa. You always get one really good neighbour. You always get a really good neighbour, right? But the other side, well, you always get a nice neighbour, and then you get the arsehole, didn't you? You know, you get the front, then you get the back, right? That is how it works. It's always the same. Doesn't matter where we've lived. We lived here, we lived somewhere else. It was the same there as well. We had really good neighbours, and then we had the dickhead, right? And I don't know if it's the same with everybody else. It's the same with me. Like, we've moved places. I've lived in loads of places, and I've always had the same problem. I've always had a really good neighbour and an arsehole. And I just wanted to know if everyone else is the same. I mean, I just want to break it down as well. So we have the old girl next door. I'm going to just say, I'm not going to say her name, but the old girl next door. She's really, really nice. She actually gave us some dog food that she didn't want. I thought it was absolutely lovely. We help her to get her shopping in and that. Before her, there was another elderly girl there as well. She was also really, really nice, and we used to exchange Christmas cards and all of that. The family that lived before us, when we moved here in the house next door, they were just arseholes, basically. You name it. I remember them. Now, there's a path outside our house. There isn't a driveway or a road, but they felt it was necessary to bring their car up to their house every time. That pissed us off. You know, just the loud noises and stuff like that. Now, the new neighbours that have been there for 4 years now, I just want to break down what sort of people these are. So they're a young couple with a child, who's, I would say, about 3, and I would say they're in their late 20s. Now, I am all for one for having a good time, right? I've had barbecue parties, and I've had stuff like that, and also I want to say as well that they've been fined next door twice during lockdown. So these people had barbecue parties when we were having lockdown, and the police come round, and they've been fined twice. They had 3 parties in total. Now, I know that's a bit funny at the moment, because, you know, you've got all those ding-dongs in Parliament that done the same, right? But I want you to get to sort of know these people. So I remember when the harshest punishments were, remember when we couldn't even leave the house? Do you remember those times? Yep. Well, our neighbours decided to have a massive barbecue party with all of their family and friends. At one point, at one of the parties, there was about 20 people there, which got broke up quite quickly by the police, and they were fined. So I want you to get to know what these parties are. So I'm all for music and noise and stuff like that. It's great, right? The weather's nice, right? But and maybe it's just my age, right? But I like having a party. I like going out for a drink. Don't get me wrong, right? And I like playing my music. But I don't play my music at 10:30 at night on a Wednesday. Yeah, a Wednesday. Yeah. So they're quiet during the week, during the weekends. Come during the week, it's like a massive rave round there, and they put the music up. Not like at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. No. We'll do it at 10. 10 o'clock at night. We'll whack the music up until 2 in the morning on a Tuesday. On a Tuesday. Like I said, I've got no problem with you having a good time. You can have a good time. But not on a Tuesday night. Right? And if you're going to play music, be a bit respectful. That's all I'm saying. Be a bit respectful for people. That's all I'm saying. Now, we had this at the last house as well. We had just the arsehole neighbour, you know, who just complained about silly things. Like, we lived in a masonette in our last house. It was a massive masonette. We had a neighbour downstairs, the arsehole I'm going to call him. And he complained once to us because we were putting on the washing machine. Now, not at night. The washing machine went on during the day. Probably about 4 times a week, right? But he said we were doing it on purpose. I don't know. Am I the arsehole? I don't know. You tell me if I'm the arsehole. I might be the arsehole myself. But I just wanted to come on and say that I wanted to know what other people do as well. I've got friends who said the same thing as well, actually, who said that they have really good neighbours and then they have an arsehole neighbour next door. And I just wanted to make sure if everyone else was the same. And yeah, maybe I'm getting old and moany. I don't know. But yeah, I do play my music loud as well. Just before anybody else, you don't play your music loud? Yeah, I do. I like garage music. I like drum and bass. I like dubstep and jungle music. So yeah, it has to be played loud and bassy. But I do it during the day. I'm respectful. And I certainly don't do it at 10 o'clock on a Tuesday night. Yeah? I don't know. Now, the problem I have now, you could say, well, they're young. Yeah, but they have a child who's about 3 years old. You know what I mean? And I thought once, right, they did it on a Friday night, and I'm all right with that, right? But I thought, do you know what? I think it was a Friday. It was either a Friday or a Thursday. And I thought, do you know what? I'm going to wake up really early. And I'm going to play my music. But then I respect the neighbour behind us. So I thought, do you know what? I'll do it at 8 o'clock. You know, they're probably still asleep after a hard night like that. Right, so I get up in the mornings about 6:30. I'll go and walk the dogs at 7 o'clock. Guess who comes out of their house? That's right, the arsehole neighbour. He comes out of his house and he's like, morning. He's either not gone to sleep, well, he's just not gone to sleep. I don't think he's ever gone to sleep. Is it my age? They are. Like, I'm pushing late 30s, 40s now. They're in their late 20s. Maybe it's my age. I don't know. But I just don't... It's mind-boggling to me. I just don't know. I just want to know, though, what everyone has. Does everyone have an arsehole neighbour? Because I've definitely had them. And they seem to follow me around. My friend as well said, no, I've got 2 good neighbours, both sides. I was thinking, is he the arsehole? If you don't have a problem with either of your neighbours, are you the arsehole neighbour? Because even though they do all this sort of thing, they're all sort of chirpy to us. Oh, hiya. And I always think, hello, we'll do that. I'll go, all right. Walk arsehole. That's what I'm... You try and be respectful, don't you? But yeah, that respect works both ways. It does, doesn't it? I want to know what everyone else thinks. Leave your comments down below. And if you want me to discuss or say anything else, let me know in the comments and I'll discuss them on the show. Thanks for watching my blog, and we'll see you next time.